Okay, so since my last video, I've been quite busy. The primary objective of climbing under the vehicle was to take off the starter. Now, I've seen people on it take out the motor with the starter on, but you would have been able to get to these bolts because this was bent up underneath it. I couldn't get a wrench on there for nothing. I also couldn't find the right size, but I couldn't get it because this was bent up underneath. So I took off the starter. The starter's really easy, 2 bolts here. Except for the top bolt is a son of a gun. If you have a whole toolbox full of shit, that's great. I ended up using a little shorty ratchet. A really short one, like 3-inch long ratchet. That worked charmingly well. But I didn't have one, so I dicked around trying to use other stuff, and then I had to run to the store, and so it took forever. Once the starter was out, they gave me access to, well, nothing. I just disconnected the battery line, which, like I said, you could disconnect the battery line. If that's the easiest, you don't have to take the starter off. Since that wasn't easy, I took the starter off. Then I loosened up the engine mount bolts. There's 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4. Those were really easy to do, obviously. Then there's a connector there that I released from the engine. See that orange thing? Now the 2 bolts, actually I think there's 3 bolts up in the top of the engine on the bell housing, and then there's still the bell housing. I don't know, there's still some bolts under here, I think 6 of them. And then there's 6 around the top of the engine. You can see 1 is here. The 2 is, I think I got 2 out already. I put them back in, these 2, because I can't get to the top ones. And I was reading some people saying getting the top ones dropped the tranny 2 inches. So I dropped the tranny. I'm working on that. Obviously, here's my fail-safe because I don't want to die if it accidentally. So this is to catch it if this fails. So then I just took these bolts out of here, and here, and here, and the same on the other side. I think it's ready to go. I loosened the engine mount bolt so that it can pivot. The turbo's out. I would be worried that the turbo would hit if... But I don't know, people seem to be doing it with the turbo on because they're talking about doing this for the transmission removal only. So maybe the turbo doesn't hit, but anyways, the turbo's out, so it looks like there should be lots of space. When I drop this in the back, let's lower this, supposedly I'll have plenty of access to the top bolts. We'll see. And then you take out the top bolts only, you push the tranny back up, put some bolts in it to hold it there while you're doing the rest of your work. Then you take out the, well, let's see, then you don't even do that then. Then you're going to look at the bell housing connection there. Disconnect the flywheel or whatever, that torque converter, I think. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. Then, before you take off those final bolts, you got to support the front of the tranny with something, I guess, so it doesn't fall down in your face. I don't think it would fall too far if this was in place, but it would probably be bad news. Anyways, so that's what's up. I am next going to drop the back of the tranny 2 inches and see if that gives me access to the top bolts. If that does, then I'm going to remove them, and then I'm going to take off this access and see about that. But I'm getting really close. My goodness, really close. Oh, and I still got fuel lines to remove. Ugh. I need a tool for that. Everyone knows you need the fuel line removal tool for that, but I'm not sure if you're removing it from over here or if it's somewhere on top of the block, so I have to figure that out yet. Cheers.